Hello everyone. Today I'll be discussing the ideas of Martin Buber, a Jewish philosopher who is still immensely present in community development practice today, and how his key ideas are explored at the World Music Cafe. I'll be using Buber's philosophy to help better understand the deeper community development practice taking place, and what lessons we can take from his ideas. Martin Buber was best known for his book I, Thou, where he explores the nature of human relationships and dialogue. His core concept is that we engage with the world and with the people in it one of two ways. Firstly, there is I-it. This is a transactional relationship where we categorize people into social constructs we are aware of, either to manage, fix, or assess the relationship before it has begun. Then he explores the meaning of I-thou, which is a mutual, present, humanizing relationship. We create a space to be truly open to the other person. We listen without judgment, connect beyond roles, and relate to the person as an equal. Buber believed that meaningful dialogue can only happen in I-thou relationships. This type of engagement isn't just about words. It is about presence, attentiveness, and respect. He also valued non-verbal connection, what he called attentive silence, moments when just being with someone can be just as powerful. These ideas have a major impact on community development theory because they shift the focus from doing but to relating. Buber's ideas really come to life in the World Cafe case study. The World Music Cafe, described in Fernandez's 2024 article, is an ideal example of I-thou in action. This event provided a platform for refugees and migrants to share their culture through music and food. What made this special wasn't just the art, it was the relationship space that was created. Many of the participants described a feeling of lost identity, and the Music Cafe created a space to share this part of themselves again, where people were being invited to share while others listened, appreciated, and responded. This mirrors Buber's belief in mutual presence. The dialogue here wasn't always verbal. It was musical, cultural, and emotional as well. It shows how Buber's ideas of non-verbal engagement and relational presence are just as important as spoken language, especially in multicultural contexts. In contrast to I-it approach would have looked like treating migrants as a group to be managed, already created roles within the Music Cafe prior to talking to the individual, rather than seeing the individual with their own gifts, stories, and agency. By applying Buber's thinking, we see how the World Cafe succeeded in creating a space where people were seen and heard as equals, not only as employees, but as co-creators for the event. Buber's philosophy offers other broader lessons for community development, many of which are visible in the case study. Community development should begin with relationships rather than intervention. The success of the World Music Cafe did not stem from down planning, but rather from building trust and recognizing people's inherent worth and skills. This reflects Buber's central belief, outlined in his book, that meaningful engagement requires us to meet others not as objects or problems to solve, but as human beings in authentic relationships. The practice of co-creation at the cafe builds lasting empowerment. Participants are not created as passive recipients, but instead take on active roles, planning events, and developing practical skills through TAFE training. This reflects Buber's belief in mutual transformation through dialogue, which Owen and Westby's article described as movement between people, an ongoing responsive process of understanding and being understood. Friedman extends this idea by suggesting that the space between individuals, when nurtured with respect and mutuality, becomes a space for new possibilities to emerge. The Music Cafe is a key example of inherently adapting to these ideas, creating a space for shared meaning and co-created community. In summary, Martin Buber's philosophy provides a strong ethical and relational foundation for community development. The World Music Cafe shows what happens when we create spaces for real dialogue, mutual presence, and shared humanity. As we learn to be community developers, Buber reminds us to focus less on the fixing and more on the being with, because at heart of development is not a project, it is a relationship. Thank you.